Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday night here on the Mercs of Mischief. Woo. That means exactly. It's time to shoot stuff. It is time in this particular episode for some cowboys and aliens. So sit back, enjoy your comfortable space with no one around. There is a positive side to this. All those aggravating people, you can tell them not to visit now for health reasons. So there's a positive to this. Just looking for silver linings. With that,
Kevin, I do want to say really quick, I hate to be that guy, but aliens, the preferred nomenclature is non-terrestrial entities.
Yes, but I understand that in the modern sense, but I'm using the terminology from the time and not applying the current ethos to it.
Yeah, Ryan.
Hey, I got 2 weeks worth of angst to catch up on.
Oh, God. We're all going to die.
Oh, speaking of angst, I should probably introduce all of them before we die. In no particular order, because I can't really see the screen right now. I'm just going to start with this person, Sarah, playing Miss Alice for us today. And then we have Ryan playing Baptiste, who was strangely quiet last week. He wasn't here if anybody didn't see. In the next space that I choose to introduce is our sleepy friend Sky. Wake up, buddy. It's time to play some games. He's playing Jet for us this evening. And then we've got Lucius, played by Lessamax. And also from the greater whiter north, we have Hannah playing Miss Ellie. And with that, are we running an intro?
Yeah, he said, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are you ready for it?
With that, yeah, let's go. Sorry, folks, there's been a bit of a fluff today.
And now, let's go down a new rabbit hole where we find our poison paradise party, Hollywood bound.
In the desert, halfway between nowhere and absolutely the end of the world.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh boy, we had some fun last week. They showed up, our fine party, on a rescue mission to Fort 51, a secret military base in the middle of the desert. Yeah, I did it, and yeah, every trope in the world is in this. Keep watching. They first encountered, pardon the phrasing, exploding blue balls. They were then confronted by digestive slime, burn holes in walls, a giant crashed ship of some sort, an entrance to a secret underground base because you would, a desperate note from a soldier who is missing, and bloodstain.
And Baptiste saved Alice's life on more than one occasion.
from the exploding ordnance in the
that
yard.
was the one choice I probably wouldn't have made as a player.
Wow!
It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I am totally on board with the Baptiste body pillow, but you have to offer both young and old version because old people get horny too.
Can't discriminate.
Just put one on each side.
Yeah, yeah.
They can choose.
It's just you
Hot
can get the
Baptiste on Baptiste action.
It's probably the
Fan art.
quickest quote we've gotten so far.
Oh, man. So where we left this fine bunch of people, one floor underground, they were searching through offices. They had found a desperate note from a soldier who told them that everybody else was dead and he was leaving. Found a huge bloodstain, and that's the room they're in now, for the most part. The rest of this floor is offices, and like the rest of this base, it is empty. There is no sign of human habitation anywhere. Anybody who hasn't taken your chips, go ahead. Get those on your sheet.
Oh, I have 3 there, but they're from last time.
Okay. Is that everybody, or... Because I see 3 of you have chips.
Could you take the old ones off
Yeah.
of me?
Yeah, I'll just recall. That's what I was checking.
Yeah.
Bang, gone. Okay, there we go. So go ahead and draw those. And you
Should've
guys
stuck
have
with the other
found these empty offices. Miss Alice, you found a space, or a safe, sorry.
Yes.
You have no idea how to open it up, but it appears to not be a money kind of safe. It's more of a document safe. So it looks like maybe that's where they put all this stuff.
That's worse for Alice. I want that more.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you could always try a tinker. Look at this rescue mission. There's information in there. The other 4 of you are in the, well, I've got Baptiste actually out in the hall, sort of standing guard. It seemed like a sort of Baptiste thing to do in the hallway itself. The rest of you are in that fairly small office space with the huge blood stain. A couple things Baptiste noticed last week, just to bring you up to speed, Ryan. This whole place is infinitely defensible. The stairs that you came down already are lots of short flights with sharp corners, easy way to back out of. Your military training would teach you that this is a building designed to keep something in. And from the note you found, it got out. The other thing it mentioned on the note is that he was going to flee because the whatever they are have gone back downstairs, and he used a very strange phrase to recharge their pistols. So, with that, what would we like to do? This hallway also shows signs of conflict. As I said before, there's bullet holes in the door to the south, and to the north behind you and along the sides of the walls, there's these tiny little burn holes in the wall.
Baptiste is gonna take a closer look. So the burn holes look like what bullet spreads would be, but it's not ricochets, it's burns.
It's just perfect little circles burned in the wall. There's no shattering like there would be when a bullet hit. There's no spray. There's no entry, mark.
I'm going to take a closer look at all of those, and I'm going to see if I can try to figure out if it was, like, where it was coming from. Well, first of all, I might be metagaming and saying, where's the laser blast? So what are they?
Yep, absolutely.
And if I can figure out from there, we'll see what figures out. Yeah. I did just make my scrutinize a little bit better because, wow,
it happens a lot.
Not observant.
No.
Not at all.
Well, I mean, you built a one-trick pony, right?
It's a really good trick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's also not useful. That much better. So
it was funny because also on multiple times last week.
What did I roll? What did I do?
You rolled a 2, I'm afraid.
What I was gonna say is multiple times last week, Alice and Baptiste rolled the exact same on scrutinize.
Wow, you rolled.
We were lockstep with our scrutin.
Yeah, we were.
You guys were failing to scrut, absolutely.
Is it Sky? Isn't that the phrase that you really love?
No.
Scrutin. Well, when 2 people get together and they're really scrutin hard on.
I'd love to get a refund on that Baptiste body pillow I put in order.
Well, just keep the old one. The younger one's a bit of an asshole.
He's a bit of a jerk.
It's like Skylar sends it back, and it's got like fist marks in the face, and it's like the stuffing's popped out where he stabbed it.
Yes. Skylar stabbed the body pillow. You don't want to know what Ellie did to it.
So what you figure out with it too is
there
that
burn marks in the wall.
Well, yeah, that and whatever fired them was at that southern door, and you can tell that more from the bullet holes in the door. That the stuff you recognize as being firearms.
Alice says, "There's also a safe in the room across the hall."
Are you announcing this to everyone?
Yeah.
I would like to go take a look at it.
Right.
That's what I was hoping for.
Can I use... I'm going to be a little inventive here. Would I have a stethoscope in my medical kit? Just to kind of, put it against
Quite possibly, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Very
give
good.
me a little bit of an advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. I just lowered your DC.
So what would I roll? Tinkering or...
Yeah, yeah, give me a tinkering, because you're trying to, patch together something using the stethoscope and turning the things. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, this is a safe.
Should be noted. Alice is all about this. She'll help in any way she can.
Okay.
21.
That's not bad. Okay. You with the help of the stethoscope and about 10 minutes, you click, click, click. Grab the handle. It turns. You pull the door open. You look inside. There's 3 locked boxes down the left-hand side and a big open space on the right-hand side.
Sorry, say that one more time. My apologies.
Yeah, on the left-hand side of this, the safe is split in 2. So on the left-hand side, there's 3 locked boxes, one on top of another, like safe deposit boxes. They're built into the safe. On the right-hand side, that half is open, and it's got a stack of paperwork in it.
Okay. I will take the paper and I'll give it to Alice. See if you can get heads or tails of this. There's 2 boxes. I'm gonna see if I can try to get in the other one.
Yeah, there's 3. This is the big space, and then there's 3 boxes.
There's 3 locked boxes, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the other.
The trick with these is the stethoscope's not going to help with these. These are like turnkey locks.
I figured as much.
Alice is going to try to lockpick the first one.
Okay. Yeah, you're lock picking.
May or may not have put all the points I could into this between last and now.
Just a little metagamey, but yeah, okay, it's allowed. This is the thing. This is what happens when you're allowed to spend your experience points at the start of every session.
She's been practicing, is what it's
yeah.
fine.
An 11. Okay. You do not fail. You do not succeed in opening that lockbox.
Okay. I guess I'll just go down the list. So I'll just give you 3.
Give me 2 more. And what did you do with the papers that he handed it to you?
They were still in my hand. I need both hands to lockpick.
On the floor beside you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess she gets to come back to me, so I'll hang on to them.
Right, so I didn't get any of them.
Not, Alice. That is, you went 0 for 3, and you've got a very bent hat pin.
Yep, that's fine. So she'll say, not good enough yet, and then just let Lucius deal with it while she goes through these papers.
Sure.
So these are just like regular tumbler locks?
Yeah.
Now, I'm no locksmith, but usually if you destroy the tumblers, you can kind of just open it up. Does that stand to reason?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's more than one way to pick a lock.
I mean, so Baptiste will...
Wait, I bring out a crowbar.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I was going to do my best Baptiste a la Kevin voice, but it'll wait.
Don't do that. I'm ashamed of that voice. I will never grow. I will grow old, hideous.
So Baptiste starts to pull his pistol out, and you have a crowbar. And he shrugs
because I see you like you're gonna shoot him. Like wait. I'm just like let's just try a few other things first.
He's still in the doorway, 30 feet away too. So
yeah.
Okay, I will use the crowbar I have. So would I use like a strength check, I suppose?
Yep. Give me a pure strength.
Well, I have been working out, believe it or not.
I do have to know, my God.
Nope. Not today.
Do you know what a workout is?
Convinced. You are absolutely convinced you got the crowbar in the gap. So much so that you put your foot on the side of the safe to heave, and you heave, and it has no purchase at all, and you launch yourself across the room backwards.
Okay.
What is the what does this say? What is it made of? The things on the
they're like a real heavy post office box.
So
you tap on it. It sounds like it's probably sort of 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch thick steel.
something that potentially I have some chemicals that might burn through this.
You can certainly try.
I
A chemistry test.
to interject because
Yep.
there's no way Ellie has not said something at this point because she was telling us we need to get out, and we've been here 15 extra minutes now.
Yep. And
So
not on
something's been
task either.
Either she or I have said something at this point, I'm sure.
Then say it.
Hey, stop fucking around in there. We gotta do something. Either get out or move on. What y'all have been doing this forever.
Alice says, then leave. By all means.
Unless you want to help quickly, I hand him the crowbar. Do you want to give it a try?
What's that chemistry?
What you figure is if you're going to rot something, it's probably a better idea to rot the hinges. They're small,
Okay.
right, than the lock. So yeah, you pour it on there, and it is at 15. It's definitely weakened.
Okay.
So it's
And then
definitely
a
going to be
9
easier to get back in there.
crowbar.
A 9 with the crowbar. Yeah, I'll give you guys, with all this work, I will give you the top of the 3 doors. And yeah, Jet finally comes over, is cussing and swearing, which I think is the first time Jet's ever sworn, if I'm not mistaken.
But it's like, gall darn it.
Yeah, right.
I specifically heard the F-bomb.
What? No, I would never do that with you.
Oh, I edited it out. It came from, I added that.
So yes, you just walk up and you don't even you don't try and pry the door open with the hammer. You just see where she's weakened it, and you just baseball bat the door, and it just spang and comes off. The hinge breaks and pops open, and you guys pull the door. More papers.
Yay, papers. Woo, real useful.
Got your papers.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Knowledge is power. So, yeah, I agree. We got whatever's in the safe, so let's get out of here.
Well, we got some of what was in the safe.
Are we heading in deeper, or are we heading back up?
Well, you can't read any of it if we're all dead, so I suggest we get out of here so you can get your knowledge and power.
Yeah, no argument here. Just put the papers in a bag.
I'm looking at
Sorry, Lucius, you ain't touching these papers, bro. Not yet, anyway. Alice is
And they rip them in half, arguing over
What
them.
was that, Sky?
I'm looking at Baptiste, actually.
Okay.
I'm looking at him to see when he said, are we going deep or are we leaving, to try to get a feel on what he's wanting to do.
Well, so he'll catch your eye and say, well, I mean, it seems like we came here to understand what it is that happened to these young boys, and we figured that out. We, in good conscience, can leave these facilities. However, there was something about recharging their pistols, and I find that personally interesting. But if the rest of us would like to leave, I don't need to find it out. I will defer to the wisdom of the greater group. He has a drink from someplace. It's a mint julep.
Where did you get
in the proper glass?
Yeah. With cold ice cubes.
With mint, yeah.
But we probably should figure out which of those 2 directions we're going in, to Jet and Miss Ellie's silent but speaks volumes point.
Well, this place was sealed for a reason. There is bits of a person right next to us. I think that's a good indicator to leave before that becomes any of us.
As they would say back home, circle takes the square. It's from a game. Anyway, let's maybe head on out.
Is Miss Alice Are you going to come with us?
She looks pissed. But
Look, we can always come back maybe another time, but well, possibly.
Ryan, I just had like 20 minutes of Paul Lynn jokes fly through my head, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That.
You're welcome. It's fun being the old people on this stream. Discretion is the better part of valor. I have an entire book full of just hammy phrases. We can leave, or I can sit here and do this until judgment. There's another one. And he pulls judgment out.
Yep. Every day is Judgment Day. Oh. So.
Well, I'm gonna start making, since I haven't heard anybody complaining, I'm gonna start making my way back.
Yep.
I'll follow.
Certainly head back up those stairs, not a problem. You're following.
And Baptiste, you know, not like in a you don't know how to handle yourself, but he sort of is just a couple of steps ahead of Ellie, looking around the corners, weapons drawn, back the way we came.
Absolutely.
Alice
Everybody
is
going?
last. After everybody goes to walk away, and she kind of stands there and she looks at the safe and she looks at down the hallway.
Well, that's going to be an interesting moment because I'm giving you the same look. Except not at the safe. I'm looking at the door.
And Alice is like looking at the safe and she's looking at all the stuff and she's like, there's so many things in here that get blurred.
They got rechargeable pistols.
I know. Do you think what do you think that means?
I don't
Oh,
know.
hey, Jet, give me my gun back.
Oh, I dropped it in the other room and I throw it.
I shoot you.
Is that door open? Kevin?
Which one? The one to the north?
The one that we would have had.
Don't throw my gun. I'm going to shoot you, then Ellie's going to shoot me, and then season 2's done.
The one that we would have had to have gone through right here. Is that one open or closed?
That. Hang on a second.
Oh, God.
I need to make my GM overlay lower so I can see.
I won't throw
that
it.
door you have.
He's got to put all of the monsters in place. Give him a second.
Oh, the door to the south, this one down here, you guys have not opened. There's a bunch of bullet holes in it from this side.
Where's our stairs back up on here?
The north of the map.
It's like a wine. It's like a windy thing. If I remember right.
I can't make it ping.
You're probably not. You're probably not on select move in Roll20. Make sure you're on token layer, objects and tokens, and select
There
move,
it
and
is.
you should be able to.
So
Let's move. Jesus.
this is the way out.
This is the way out up here,
Okay.
and this is the way deeper down here. Oops. Except I just clicked on Jet's chips, and now I know what he's got.
Jet's chits.
Aren't they
It's
great
chips.
this week?
Yeah, but I saw some faces, and two things. Some of you got some really nice chips this week, and two, I want to play poker with all of you.
Yeah, no, I got 2 red chips and went, what? I was on mute, but you still knew what I had.
Oh yeah. Yep. I didn't even have to watch your eyes.
I love getting red chips because I know I'm not gonna burn them in game.
Yep.
So it's just points.
Right.
Those are just those are just experience. So
I'll still take blue.
I think Baptiste is up here, but it doesn't
yeah, you
seem
guys.
like
I'm assuming the 3 of you actually leave, like through the door and gone up the
I'm not
stairs.
gonna leave without anybody, but I'm waiting to see.
Alice and Jet are standing here
Where's-
torn as hell.
Alice and Jet are doing a southern goodbye. It's gonna be 20 minutes.
No, I'm with
Perhaps we should just give
Baptiste.
them that time.
I'm not going up there until everybody's following, but
That's also fair. Yeah.
Miss Ellie, do you think? I mean, could you give them? I don't know, 20 minutes total.
well, I don't. My fear is I know where they want to go, and then we're going to encounter what these people at this fort encountered, which is exactly the reason why this whole place was sealed.
But I'm
Yeah,
a
I'm not-
ghost.
It's not the best.
Shut up,
of
Jet. No, you're
ideas.
not. You almost got shot. You've lost your
here's-
ghost privileges.
But here's the real question, Elliot. Would you rather deal with the two of them being mopey for the next week or die. Because it's about 60-40 right now.
Baptiste has a point.
Can we hear this conversation in this echoey
I am
hallway?
being quiet. I'm not rolling
Yeah.
a sneak
No,
roll.
you
but
guys are
I'm-
having your
I'm
own
being
conversation
quiet.
down at the end of the hall.
Meanwhile,
But you can
Alice
see,
and Jet
you
are
can
like,
see they've gone to the other end of the hall. They've opened the door. There's like a foot on the stairs.
We're
and
giving
they're
you
looking
all the
back at you.
social cues.
Yeah, you're getting that mom at the mall thing. It's like she's got her foot on the almost on the escalator already. It's, we're going now.
Well, I'm Ellie's straight up gonna be like, "Are you coming or not?"
Alice like puts a hand on Jet's shoulder and she's like, I really don't want to go, but
You don't wanna. And I've got Baptiste's gun.
I don't think that's canon. I'm pretty sure 2 weeks ago I did get that gun back.
Run the footage again. 'Cause you never got
What's
it back.
If not 2 weeks ago, I will guarantee he got it back last week.
Oh, okay.
I was in charge of him last week.
Yeah, but when I took my turn on the Baptiste go round, I was like, you can keep that, Jet. So
Oh yeah, that's when I was watching the replay and I went, well,
And
that's
that's-
bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I,
Okay,
that's
you know
why I
what?
could keep executive privilege for myself.
Alice is gonna split the difference and she's gonna pull out the papers that were in
Okay.
the lockbox inside
All
the
right.
also locked safe.
All right,
Okay,
all
the
right.
ones
Maybe
in the
she found
lockbox
something
themselves.
good enough.
Okay, they are, now that you finally looked at them, marked classified.
Uh-huh.
And you flip open the thing, and it is heavily redacted. Just black lines everywhere. How long you want to spend here, standing here? It's like 30 pages.
Till the creature grabs her.
Yes.
Pretty much.
That.
Yeah.
I literally, Alice will stand here and look at these papers until someone physically removes her from where she's standing.
All right.
oh, Lord.
You can scan through them fairly quickly because like 80% of each page is gone. Like it's just been redacted.
Yep.
And what you can get from this is it's a list of shipments of prisoners from area prisons to Fort 51. The worst of the worst. You see phrases like murderer, family, killed family, burned down church. The worst of the worst. But they're getting sent
Lawyer.
here. They're getting lawyer, yeah, absolutely. Right at the top of the list. There's 27 lawyers. But it says beside them, they didn't like the taste.
Yeah,
right. No, there's a list. You very quickly figure out there's about 24 criminals a month getting sent to Fort 51. 24, 25 of them a month.
Alice is going to share that with Jet. She's going to say, "Look, there are prisoners being sent here."
Yeah. And I guess I could probably see where it's all the description. I was like, they don't look too, I don't know how to say innocent. Oh, wait, I just did. So I don't know if that's a concern, but
And is that all it is between what was in the locked safe and what was in the...
Oh, the other stuff, the big pile of paper on the other side is day-to-day logistics.
Oh, okay.
oh Lord.
So probably nothing. It's like...
Lots of food orders and, uniform replacement and shipping and costs and complaints about low quality materials and all that stuff that happens in the day-to-day operation of a fort this size. But
Alice
it's
is-
just logistics.
If that top block box had a list of prisoners, what in the hell are in the other ones?
Oh, wait a minute. God damn it. I just walk over to the
Jet,
safe.
can't you just read
Hey,
There's 20,
no,
yeah, 20.
Don't
I
you
believe-
take this from me.
I look.
I walk through and I have my hands down through the box as I walk through and I come out the other side of the wall, hopefully with something in my hand.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Why not?
Like
You can have
78 wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Take
boy.
you got to do it twice. So yeah, 10 wind, 5 for
Alright.
each one for each box.
Mhm.
And I will give you what was in those boxes.
But when
The
he
middle
pulls
box-
something through, didn't it double the wind, Marshal Kevin, last session?
That's if it's a person.
It
You don't
doesn't
know.
matter because wind goes away in 2 minutes anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah. He can just wait between each time he does it.
Oh, that's true. Wind is catch your breath.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
great. Well, we got all of it. Now, can we read them upstairs instead of down here now? Let's, I mean, I really don't think there's anything living or not deadly to be found through those doors.
I think we should regroup upstairs. I think that's a good place to talk in a level-headed place, and I think we can make a decision and back through the door. No, I'm kidding.
Alice follows Jet.
Oh god. No, I
oh
will
damn!
go
I can't walk through doors. Shit. Oh.
I will go upstairs,
Yeah.
but I can't promise what happens after that.
So
Same.
I'm assuming now all of you work your way upstairs. Yes.
Yep.
So once you start to look upstairs, I'm not going to move you on the map, but once you get up there, the second drawer is marked secret. The bottom drawer is the file that's in the second drawer is marked secret. The file that's in the bottom drawer is marked top secret.
Weird though, because it was in the bottom drawer. But it was
Shut up.
whatever.
Alice asked Jet if she's like this at Jet. Like, can I?
Military intelligence. Of
I
course it was
handed
backwards.
them to you.
Okay, good,
Like, as
okay.
soon as I came out, I just was like, "Here, go."
Yes, yes. I
I'll
must
need-
read them all.
All right. Which one first?
Secret.
Secret. This one is also heavily redacted, but the impression you get from this is that they have recently spent a large amount of money increasing the security of this place because one of 3 got away.
Of the criminals, or does it say?
It just says one of 3 got away.
Well, we know there's more than 3 criminals here.
Yeah. Okay, what about top secret?
Top secret is where you finally find the words. Aliens. Extraterrestrials, not of this world. Deadly dangerous. Very powerful. Very smart. High-end weapon systems. And a really bad attitude. And they eat people. Well, eat is the wrong word. They digest people. Somehow. It's not exactly explained, but there is a process by which they are digested outside of the body and then consumed.
So the one of 3 got away. When is that dated?
That is dated 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
And from talking to Kyle's brother and others, there was no word of anything that got back to the city on that. They only didn't show up home last week.
Well, Alice will share everything. So
Well, if they are being digested outside of the body, you might really want to get that suit cleaned when we get back to town.
Yeah, you are still slimed.
That's the other reason why he wants to leave. I just feel so.
Oh, all over your nice new clothes, too. You just had a bath like 2 days ago.
Not happy. This was supposed to be a fun adventure.
Alice says that stuff was in a puddle in the offices. She says to Jet and Ellie, knowing because they weren't there.
I wonder if the 3 that got out, if they're talking prisoners or if they're talking aliens.
Well, I mean, if they are saying 1 of 3, it
Right.
seems from your redacted files there are much more than 3 prisoners here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think one of the aliens escaped 6 weeks ago.
Non-terrestrial entities, but yes.
She just pats Baptiste on the head, just like,
I'm
all
sorry.
right.
No, that was Ryan. That wasn't Baptiste. That was
You
Ryan.
said it in character.
Broke
I
our
don't drop character into the end of the special. I forgot the quote from the stupid movie.
Okay.
All
And
right.
a DVD
so,
commentary.
So you guys now, just to be clear, are in that little shed in the corner of the giant building with the crashed ship in it, which now appears to be a spaceship.
Yeah.
You know, Lucius, you said that when we were back in Denver, those flying machines were called ornithopters.
Yes, correct.
It would seem that this machine here is some sort of unorthodox flying ornithopter, a UFO, if I may.
That would be accurate.
Alice says, and you, Baptiste, are an ordinary thopter.
Yeah, we're
And
both
she
couple of
walks
horns.
past him. And Alice wants to see if there's a way inside this spaceship.
Well, the giant hole where it's cracked in half, right?
And the back where the engines have been taken out. Yeah,
Yep.
this is just a hollow shell
Nothing in it at all.
of aluminum and some other metal that nobody could identify. But the aluminum is like impossibly thin. It's everything about this thing is weird.
Is
It
the
doesn't seem
metal
to be riveted together. It seems to be glued somehow, but you can't glue metal.
is the metal that no one can identify? Is it described enough that if we look at this thing, we could like be like, oh, this is a panel of that metal?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Jet, would you mind coming here for a moment?
Okay, I was actually about to walk out of the hangar, but yeah, I'll turn around and come back.
No, I mean, I agree. I think we should probably, but let's maybe get a couple of pounds of paneling of this strange metal. Who knows what kind of sidearm you could try to shape it into?
And Alice is thinking about, I wonder what the pictures would look like on this.
And as I mentioned before too, there's all along the wall, the back wall of this hangar, is all the bits and pieces, like the broken beams and broken panels, and there's any size you want to carry. And this stuff is stupid light.
But we
Like
can't
one of
do
you
it.
could easily carry a 10-foot beam.
I want to tell him, though, the same thing Lucius told me last time, which was I had the same thought, but we can't do anything with it theoretically. I mean, you're welcome to grab some, but he said that whatever this is, we can't smelt. It can't be melted or I don't know.
Well, I mean, if we fill a knapsack with it and we can't do anything, maybe we can, I don't know, sell it or pawn it off to a traveling carnival. But if we're able to figure out how to make, I don't know, buckshot or even maybe a rifle barrel out of it or something. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't. Might as well take some.
Regardless, I took some scraps anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
Yep.
we need to take a 5-foot beam, but let's fill a saddlebag.
Yeah, Alice tries to look for some scraps that would be already small enough.
Oh, yeah,
Anything
there's
that
lots.
she could use as a daguerreotype.
Actually,
basically.
because Baptiste is feeling a little froggy, and he's gotten to know everybody a little bit better. Actually, Baptiste says the whole let's fill a saddlebag, and he whistles. And I don't know how any of you missed it, but Rebecca comes from right around the back side of this thing, like she'd been standing there the whole time.
I'm glad, because the rest of the place is full of mines.
yeah. Well, yeah, it would occur to you that she did not walk in here.
But there she is, and
Yep.
I'll fill one saddlebag.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Alice has taken
one
some, like I
saddlebag
said.
mystery material.
Alice is-
Put mystery metal so I know what it is when 6 months from now. You gotta get some stuff here.
I'll fill another sack. Um,
I have some
Uh,
non-terrestrial metals.
Yeah. It was funny last week because I was actually Googling whether this stuff actually existed while we were playing last week, as to whether you would identify it or not. So You guys, you get a bag of that? Yeah, Ellie?
Oh,
anybody?
I'm gonna check just that to make sure that that seal was properly on. And
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was about to do too.
Yeah, it's you slide it shut, and that Vaseline material, it just, you can tell it's airtight, sealed again. And it's weird because as you close the door, you kind of have to push it because there's that wind coming, that pressure. And you slam it shut.
Out of curiosity, on the ship, are there any like strange markings that could indicate that it's a language?
Have a look. Have a scrutinize.
Scroot, motherfucker!
Scrutin all over the place.
I said all scroot. God damn.
An 8.
I love you, Sky.
On one of those broken panels that's against the wall, you find sort of something that might be like it's a series of shapes, but
looks like a symbol of some sort, maybe.
it's a row of symbols, whether it's words or like instructions, or it might be just the front of a tape player, with all the buttons. You don't know.
Okay, I take some paper and graphite and just like put the paper over the symbols. Like if it's like hieroglyphics or something, like can I just do that to
absolutely.
kind of
It's
copy
carved in, so
just copy it quickly and then just like for later.
Copy of alien symbols. Put that down somewhere.
I am in a clearing in the wherever. I know we cleared some spots, so I just walked out of the hangar and walked into a clearing. And,
There's some wiggly paths to the other buildings that you see, and then there's some areas that you guys cleared out.
Alice is like spread out on the floor with these papers, and she's just like muttering to herself at this point, like everything else was cleared out. So Alice is super confused and concerned.
John Hughes, come on now.
About why the safe wasn't cleared out. Because you would think that these top secret documents would be of high priority, if considering that they took every pen and piece of paper from the office.
Unless they intended to come back eventually.
Or if it's just the proximity to the spaceship and the creatures, they might not have wanted to risk clearing out that area.
Also, it might just be plot.
What's...
No, in this case, I've got a better excuse than that, but thank you.
Miss Alice, I mean, I do think you have a valid point, but look, Jet's already on his way. Miss Ellie is ready to kill everybody. Perhaps we can figure this out on the train.
you just hear, caw, caw, just like whatever that sound is. And if you look out, I'm out there.
I believe it's called cawing.
Well, listen, if that's how you interpret it, but this is me communing with someone of a higher power. You know what?
Are you attempting to contact Raven?
Yes.
Mea culpa.
Okay. Give me a spirit check. You don't call her very often.
Well, reception's bad.
Call your mom. This isn't the only game you've got that problem in. That's interesting.
We already played therapy last night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man, 7. You get a distant voice. Yes?
Have you ever dealt with aliens or beings with a strange metal not from this world?
Metal's not exactly our strong suit. But beings from other places?
The
I'm
stars?
I'm a being of the stars. I'm a being of other places. What do you mean?
They shoot guns that burn holes into things, and they were captured by, I'm assuming, the government, and they appear to be real ornery, and they eat people by digesting them with some kind of slime. And I'm trying to determine if we should leave well enough alone or help them get out, and maybe they won't be so ornery, or if we should, remove them, so to speak, so they don't hurt anybody else. I'm not quite sure what to do.
Jet, have I ever given you advice on right and wrong?
No, ma'am, you have not. Those are our things, as you say.
So you see, I can't really help.
Fair enough. All right, well, if I die here, you know where I am.
Don't die there, Jet. I can't save you where you are.
Fair enough. And yeah, I'll just fade out of whatever that is.
Yep.
Paul has been disconnected.
So the rest of you make your way outside as well?
Yeah, Alice is going to go into the office where I assume the telegram machine is.
Yep.
And send the message that we need to send for the train to come back.
All right. You head into the telegraph office and start banging away on the telegraph button. Give me a... Just give me a knowledge check.
Just straight knowledge.
Yep, just straight knowledge.
23.
Yeah, there's no connection.
Oh, shit. Alice will say, so we were supposed to send a telegram for the train to come back, but there's no connection, it appears. So we have no way to send a message to Cedar City via telegram, at least.
I see if there's anything I can do to fix it, or find a link.
Give me a cognition check. And what was Baptiste?
I'll wait till they're done.
No clue.
No.
You look at the box. All the wires are connected. Everything should work. Everything in this room works.
Hey, so how far away is the town from here? How many miles away is it?
It is about 25 miles.
All right. So I'm gonna say that so Fort 51 is a military installation. Looking around, is it of the gray variety or of the blue variety? I don't know why I'm asking as Baptiste, but is it?
It's actually neither.
It is a bipartisan military facility.
This was a. They don't work together any better in this world than they do in this one. It was a separate group based out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a generalized flare gun color that says send help, like shoot a blue thing up in the air or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Red flare would be a call for help.
All right. It says, between our more tinkery types, how far up in the air and at what trajectory would we need to fire a flare in order to be seen from town? I mean, if we fire a red flare up, that is a universal symbol that the railroad department should know to send a train.
Mm-hmm.
I was also wondering, as far as getting a message, I don't really know how it works. Maybe you do, Miss Alice, your mind thing?
No, go ahead. I have another idea, but please, Miss Alice, go ahead.
I've never really tried it long distance. And
do you think you could tell someone that we needed a train?
I would need to think of someone in town, or perhaps the conductor, in order to attempt it.
Miss Alice, I don't pretend to understand what it is you've been uncovering about yourself. It seems to be a bit taxing. Also, I do apologize. I apologize. I apologize for not thinking of this earlier, but I do believe if town's only about 25 miles away, well, Rebecca and I can get there in about 30 minutes. If you want to have
your horse.
Have a picnic.
He just told you his horse goes 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
For half an hour. Yeah.
I mean, she's gonna. I'm not gonna use her for a little while after that, but she's that kind of horse. She's meant to ride fast. So if you can, Miss Ellie, if you can keep everybody safe and whole for 30 minutes, and I can go get the train. We'll be back in probably about an hour and a half.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, and again, because now he's having fun with it, he whistles and she shows up from behind something too small to hide her.
Tied a horse behind you. Yeah.
Seriously, what is with your horse?
What? Not only what is with his horse, Ellie, but what is with him? What the fuck is he?
I'm going to just say, are we really going to argue the semantics here? We have a cowboy who can go through walls, and apparently this is just news to me. You find tricks, apparently.
At that, because as you so eloquently put it, Baptiste climbs on Rebecca, rears her up. For a split second, she becomes a completely skeletal horse, and he rides off.
What?
Baptiste, at that moment,
I very carefully ride off really fast, stop, walk her carefully through the exploded path, and then ride off, and it's slightly less climactic.
Yep, absolutely. But at that moment where she goes skeletal, there's a connection that you normally feel with her when she does that.
Oh, no.
And it doesn't happen.
Oh, shit. I think
she's still your horse. You're still 100% under your control, but there's a thing when she does this. There's a feeling you get. It didn't happen.
I think carefully about that as I ride reasonably back to town.
Yep.
Man, I lost my powers.
Yeah, well... Oh, he's gone. You shouldn't have gone. I needed him.
I need you too.
When Baptiste leaves, Ellie's just gonna wait for a sec, and she's just gonna look at Lucius and be like, all right, I want it outright. Do you have some sort of weird magical power you just haven't told us? Because we're going down the line now.
There's a week of my life I don't remember, but that's pretty much it.
I wonder if I can find it.
Actually, might need you for something else, Miss Alice, if you'd be so inclined.
Maybe another time.
What, Jet?
You can talk. Oh, Lord. Why did he have to go? That damn fool.
To get our train back?
We can't leave yet. We can't. And it's just this really, I look tired. You can tell this has been weighing on me. And I look at Ellie and I'm like, I can't leave till I know.
Here, why don't we make camp? Okay, you can sleep in the back of my cart. I have blankets, pillows, and stuff like that. Just rest a bit. We'll just set up a camp for now.
Either way, I have to know if there are people down there. Because if they're still alive, those things, I mean, the date was 6 weeks ago that they escaped, or was it 6 months? I don't know.
Well,
six weeks.
What we'll do is we'll be vigilant and at the ready. So we'll have all things kind of packed up and ready, just campfire out and just 2 on watch.
Baptiste, you stay on, but that's it. There is no grace. There is no
That's about it.
style. Yeah, you're just.
Um,
This horse is fast.
all right, so at the risk of taking extra time and rolling really badly, is the reason why I'm having no finesse, no je ne sais quoi?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out and reach out this connection, and either A, figuring out why it's not there, or maybe he's starting to figure out what that connection actually was.
There's only you can answer part of that, but there is a part of you that appears to have gotten fixed when you became young again. And
Wow.
you flash back to what you asked him to do. Return you to the prime of your life.
While riding, he's gonna take a handkerchief out and, like, you know, when you've got like a really bad cold and you cough on purpose to get that big, like, that solid chunk thing up,
Yep.
and it sucks and
Oh,
it
yeah.
almost makes you throw up. Yeah,
Yep.
all the faces. Everybody knows what I'm talking
Yep,
about.
everybody knows that one. Yeah.
Sorry, fans at home.
Yep.
He purposefully coughs as hard and long as he can, and looks at the
Nothing.
handkerchief.
Nothing. No yellow, no red, no black. Nothing.
What time of day is it?
Late afternoon.
Okay. I finished my ride.
Okay. I want to give you one more thing. As you're going, you reach down and grab something. I don't know what. But you squeeze with all of your might, and it works.
Okay. Okay. I will ruminate on this forestalled knowledge as I continue my perambulation towards the civic center towards the north.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Yeah. And back at the camp, you guys were talking about setting up camp. He mentioned he'd only be gone a couple hours. So where are you guys? Still inside the fort? Outside the fort?
I'd
in
like
office?
to think that we're outside.
Not by the mines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just, you know.
So the mines are inside the fort, right? So
Is it dark
just
out?
the fort walls, and then all the mines are inside. No, it's late afternoon, so
Okay, so we don't have to set up a fire. So just like, I offered Jay, like, do you want to rest in the back of my cart?
I'm not that kind of tired, but I appreciate it.
Kinky.
No, God. Hey, you got
Shut up,
fixed.
Baptiste.
You did get fixed.
the three of you that are still here, give me some. Yeah, give me
Three?
scrutinize.
Wait,
let's
three?
let's do scrutinize.
Before that, can I have pulled Miss Alice aside and told her something?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
I'll go ahead and roll it. Oh, shit.
Oh!
So when they were suggesting all this camp stuff, I pulled Miss Alice to the side, and I'm sure Ellie's watching me because she already heard what I said. But I pulled Miss Alice aside and I said, Miss Alice, I can't leave until I know. Not for the same reason as you. I know you got your reasons as well, but I don't know. There could be people down there, and what's more odd to me is I don't know if whatever's down there was supposed to be down there, and maybe they're only doing what they're doing because, you know, if you came somewhere and people put you in a hole and kept you there, it might make you a little agitated. Now I can't probably talk to whatever it is. And I was sitting here rolling around in my brain, how in the world could I communicate with something that I can't communicate? And then somebody reminded me about little old you.
God.
How do you feel about touching brains with an alien?
What a way to phrase it.
Yeah, well,
That's the
best
perfect way to
idea.
get Miss Alice to do it, though. Oh, man.
I wouldn't ask you to do it, and I'm not if you don't want to, but I have to go down there.
Is she like, she goes, and and she says, you don't have to ask. I'll do it.
That's also what she said to Baptiste.
I really thought she was going to be like, you had me at touch brains with an alien.
No, as soon as she saw where this was going, she was down for it.
We can wait till Baptiste comes back, but, you know, I wanted to do it, but then he rode off into the sunset on his death horse. So, I don't know. I don't feel like it's the best idea to leave these two out here alone. Not that I don't believe they can take care of themselves, but I feel like Baptiste would kill us if he heard we went while he wasn't around.
Potentially.
As the two of you are thinking of what to say next, the two of you hear creak of a door opening up somewhere inside in a quiet moment, somewhere inside the fort, a door just opened.
Rifle to shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think that maybe we shouldn't go in guns drawn if we're going to try this plan?
I think that I have no interest in not being armed.
Fair enough. I'm... Oh, shit, you're the one talking, so I can't... It doesn't matter if I go in unarmed, because I'm not the one talking. Alright, well, I'll go ahead of you unarmed. How about that?
The other two of you are here, so do feel free to pitch in.
Oh, hey, y'all. We're just talking over here. And did
Yeah, I
y'all
thought
hear
they went
that?
to the side.
What do you suppose those two are talking about?
Considering what Jet said, probably some way to go back inside.
And
Yeah,
then,
you look over at
see,
the two of them, and they're looking at the door and looking at each other and looking at the door and looking at nodding and looking at the door.
Yeah, and then you see Alice bring her rifle to her shoulder.
Yeah, and then the two of them suddenly go and rifle up.
That's not a good sign. And
No, I'm gonna
ready my scythe.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my pistol and then walk over to them. Did you hear something? What's wrong?
There was a creak.
From the fort?
Yes.
From the all-wood fort. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Wood creaks?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could have been anything.
I know.
Okay, but yeah. Well,
you
all right.
you heard the hinges of a door creak.
Do me a favor. If you trust me at all, please don't shoot until we have to. We're trying something here. We're trying diplomacy, as Mr. Baptiste would probably put it. A diplomatic excursion, if I might.
Yeah, leave that to Baptiste.
Wow.
And walks in the fort.
That's the
Alice
nicest
follows.
thing Ellie's ever said about me.
So the two of you walk into the fort?
I'm following them.
You guys, that was the next question. Ellie's following. Look at Lucius.
Oh, hell.
Lucius is like,
I'm just looking at the horses like, what do you think I should do?
It's like, I just got this studly new art. Now I'm going to die.
Fuck it. I just walk. I just like go in begrudgingly. Like, fucking assholes.
Whew. The F-bombs are flying tonight. I pissed
Yeah.
you guys off.
I'm gonna beat the shit
Man,
out
one
of that
dungeon
ghost
crawl.
boy.
This is why you
Alice
do
says.
dungeon crawls,
Alice
they
says.
create tension.
Alice says we were discussing waiting, but it appears that a choice has been made for us.
Well, there shouldn't be anything in this fort right now.
You say that.
You guys step in the doors and look around. And that hangar door that you guys came out of and closed very carefully behind you is open about that much. And sticking out at like a 45-degree angle with these tiny little fingers on either side is this big, bulbous, silver gray head. These huge, black, almond-shaped eyes. No nose, and this little tiny slit for a mouth.
And
You hear, uh-oh, the door slams.
Wait, what?
Uh-oh? Like in English?
Yep.
hey, I don't need you, Alice. Run. No.
That's just rude.
I forgot one thing. I forgot one very important thing.
He shoots
Great big
jet.
cowboy hat. Great big cowboy hat.
What?
Like 10-gallon hat.
Oh,
I forgot.
my God.
All right,
Baptiste remembers something he forgot and comes back.
yeah, right.
He just slammed the door. So yeah, you saw him, and he slammed the door and stayed. He's back inside the hangar.
Fuck it. Alice is gonna try it.
You try a shot?
No,
Are you gonna what?
she's
Are you
gonna
gonna try and communicate?
touch brains with an alien.
Oh wow. Okay. Give me a straight spirit roll.
Okay. Is that what we said? I don't remember. It's probably not gonna go well.
Yeah, unfortunately you didn't get enough time to connect. You sort of reach out in that direction, and it's just there's nothing there. It's just
Okay.
there's nothing to latch onto. Maybe it's because it's too different. Maybe it's because it's gone. You don't know. It's at quite a distance from you still. So
I really should have written down what because I don't remember what we.
I don't remember either. But spirit just seemed like the right thing. So
I thought it was like it was some knowledge thing.
I think it was.
Hers was intelligence or something.
Yeah, it was like
Was
an
it?
intelligence
Was
thing.
it cognition or knowledge?
I thought you were using spirit because it was such a weird thing. I didn't realize.
yeah. Well, if this is Faye, let's do it as a form of searching. So let's do it as cognition. Let's do that.
Okay. I think that's what
maybe
we.
It was a ghost alien.
Okay. So she like I we can say that I tried it that way, and then I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
let's try it my
That's
way.
not going to work. Yeah, think your way through it, Alice. Think your way through this. You're a logical girl.
Not
Better,
great, but a little bit better.
but
Closer.
there's you get the sensation that if it was a human in there and you'd seen them that long, you'd at least be able to touch their head,
Okay.
maybe put a thought in. But it's like trying to hear color. It just doesn't, like, you're not tuned. Right?
All right.
Does that make sense? But yeah.
I will knock on the door and say, hello?
And Alice kind of lowers her. It's not up, but she lowers her weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
I
with
s- you seem to speak English. Why don't we just talk?
You're chatting away, and a blue light just comes out of the door. Like, the door doesn't open, just a blue light comes out. And right through your hat, and you can feel it part your hair along the side of your head. And it burns. It's hot. It's like somebody took a poker and laid it across your skull.
Oh, god damn it. Can I just get a goddamn break?
One wound to the head. I'm being really nice considering what I rolled. But
Oof.
Okay.
it's through a door, so he couldn't aim, so it was a very high DC, so he just barely hit you. And there's no sound at all. Just, oh, pardon me, yes, there is. In the distance from inside, you hear, pew.
Damn it.
gun.
So,
It's all the tropes. Every one of them that I could think of.
What the hell was that? Lucius, are you okay?
Well, I seem to be singed a bit.
Maybe step away from the door.
Yeah. Ow.
Alice yells and she says, "Wait, we've no interest in harming you." Oh.
What did you say, Kevin?
Yeah, you were...
I said no response. Yeah, you don't hear anything.
All right. Well, I might.
What's your name?
Nothing.
I'm Lucius.
Pew! This time you're out of the way. It goes like through just above the doorknob and sails off, and you turned like you kind of whoa, and you see it just keeps going and go like it doesn't droop like a bullet does. It's for all the world looks like a beam of blue light, but it just punched 2 holes in that door.
Yeah, maybe not.
Look, can we just put the weapon away? Our weapons are down. Let's just talk, okay?
Can I roll a persuasion to try to talk them down?
You can certainly try. Yes, absolutely. That's a good idea.
Okay. Ellie's just gonna say, look, we swear we're not here to harm you. We just want to talk. Okay. No one needs to get hurt.
A voice from inside says, "Just go away, we'll be fine."
Alice says, "We know they trapped you."
We're out now.
I see that.
We just want to make sure nobody there is injured.
The food is fine. Not as tasty as at home, but the food is fine.
Where is home?
Beetlejuice. That's what you call it.
The star Beetlejuice?
But we don't live on the star, stupid. You'd burn up.
Well, I meant in the galaxy. My apologies.
The planet's name is...
That tracks.
When you say the food is fine, are the people still alive?
Thank you for asking the
I know, they're talking about the Beetlejuice. I'm like, that's not what I'm focused on.
Most of them, yes, it takes a long time.
Oh,
You're very hard to digest.
And then I'm walking through the door. Mind you, you can't hold on to me. I'm past.
She's not holding on. She's just mad.
I see Lucius in the corner.
If we can understand them, maybe we can figure out a way to help them.
Mm-hmm. I'm already gone. I don't know who you're talking to.
Sam, you're muted.
Lucius, you have been
Hold on. I kind of like gently hook you to like my scythe. Like,
nope. He's incorporeal. Your hand goes right through him.
Well, he said with his scythe. His scythe is ghost steel. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want you to stop me, but I'm willing to let it happen.
No, the scythe isn't, is it? I don't think so.
It is.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay.
I'll just wait a little bit.
What? I'd hate to be this guy, but what is the disengage roll on that?
You want to try and get through?
I'm not the type that's gonna stop just because you hooked me.
Yeah, both of you give me a deftness. It was kind of a jiggle because he's got to try and not cut you, right? He's got to try and control you, but not cut you.
Well, in my mind, they've been talking a lot and getting nothing done.
Yep.
Because we can ask them how many there are. Like, we're having a conversation right now. We can get information about what you're walking into.
I'm escalating it.
God, somebody that gives Jacob so much shit about Richard, Jet does the same fucking shit.
I sacrifice a white chip.
I don't know who those people are.
Funny because they don't know.
So reroll one a white chip. You roll 1d6.
1d6.
Yep.
And do I add to that?
It's just use the keep one button at the bottom.
Okay.
And it'll explode if it does.
Okay.
And it's either or. You take this second roll.
And I put in 1 in there, right? Or 6?
Yep, just a 1, and then it'll ask you, it'll say D6 double exclamation point. Just click that one. Or single exclamation point. Okay.
Now that
Jet,
stopped me.
It did. However, you can do the same thing if you wish.
Can I give him overall and just like I said, stop.
And while they're doing that, Alice says, are all 3 of you safe?
I don't know if you can roll that on a player. I'm curious to see what Kevin does with this.
You have to roll against it, I believe, is what's probably going to happen.
To convince somebody of something? I've never rolled for that before. It's always been a like...
character to character, it's usually just role played out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So am I rolling or am I playing it?
Well, you tell me, are you going? Especially after what Lucius just said?
If he just said that, I'm going to whip around and be like, you better take your weapon off me.
You better stay where you are, cowboy.
Oh, shit, I don't want to punch you. I don't, but...
I punch him.
Oh, shit, all right.
Oh, my God.
Okay, brawling.
All right. First of all, I want to take a moment to step out and be like, Sam, I love you.
I love you too, okay?
Okay, cool. Here we go. Yeah, I think there's a different check that's just called brawling.
Yeah, it's just called brawling.
Yep.
It should be under your deafness, I believe.
I have it. I just don't know where it is. Throw in. Is it?
Never find anything.
I really can't, and I put all the points into it because it's under nimble.
Nimbleness. And because I have
if you look at nimbleness, it's called fighting, and then you can specialize brawling.
Right.
That's what.
Fighting,
okay, that's what it is.
Hold on. I have an ability.
Bottom left.
Well, he thinks he's got an asset or something that can help him.
Oh.
So roll him up. I take my highest wound and add it to that.
What?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's the worse hurt you are, the more damage you can output.
Well, okay, you've got 1 wound right now on your head, right?
Okay, well, yeah. Plus most of my limbs from earlier, from the explosion.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right.
I'm not hurt at all because I have that.
I added +4. Is that just damage? That's just damage. Highest wound penalty left. Okay, yeah, it's just.
Just give us a fighting roll.
Okay.
See what you get.
Oh, fighting. Okay.
We're just gonna do 1 roll each, and we'll play this out. So.
My apologies.
Yeah, nimbleness, bottom left.
Yep.
Yeah. I should be under after all my. Just a straight fight. Oh, actually,
straight fighting is good.
I don't think there is a straight fighting.
I think it's fighting and brawling.
Yeah, brawling. Whichever one you've got the skill in.
Yep.
Have it. Could you just roll for me?
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm sorry. I just want to speed this along.
Oops. Where are we? Characters. Lucius.
Any credit, I must say. Everybody thinks I'm gonna go in here and shoot this guy.
No, I think you're gonna get in and get shot.
Nope, not gonna do that either. I learned my lesson from Baptiste.
Are you? You've got the martial arts, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna try and use? Okay.
What did I get?
Nope.
Well, I tried.
I don't know who taught you, these martial arts, but they do not work on the undead, and they do not work on Jet.
I'm rusty, okay?
You drop the sides and throw a couple of quick punches, and Jet, like, they stop like 2 inches from the end of his nose, and he just kind of looks at you. Jet, how would you respond to that? He missed altogether.
If he missed and did not land a punch, then I guess I'm just essentially shoving him back off of me, because I don't want to hit. Like, I do not want to fight. Like, Baptiste is one thing because he like hit me. He tried to hit me though.
Brain broke.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like I'll start to punch, but then it's like I remember it's like flashes of seeing him patching me up, and then it's like it goes from a fist to just an open hand, and I just shove him off.
Yep. You shove him away.
Ooh, am I doing damage? I wasn't trying to.
No. This is that was me rolling. Another blue bolt blasts through the door.
Oh shit! Does that hit
the sky?
Oh, okay.
No, they only rolled a 6.
Well, that was
anyway.
Yeah. The Annals are just kind of like, oh my goodness.
Alice had asked if all 3 of them were okay.
Oh, let the lady know. Who's wounded?
I think she's asking the creature.
No, yeah.
Oh, the creature inside.
I don't give a fuck about Jet and
Are you
Lucius.
all? What was the question? Sorry.
Are all 3 of you okay?
To the cowboy alien.
There's only 2.
Were there more? Were there 3 of you originally?
Yes, he's gone.
Did he try to go home?
Don't know, just left.
What happens when you run out of food?
We die. We will not die. We will just come out and hunt.
Is Jet still outside?
I'm giving the time because Jet's walking through.
Okay.
But it's very specific, so I'll wait and get into it as it happens.
Well, I was just gonna ask, we're not here to harm you. Why are you shooting at us?
Everyone shoots at us. This planet's crazy.
We're not shooting at you. You've only shot at us.
So far.
We don't plan on shooting you.
I don't trust you. Bye-bye. And you hear inside. Somebody just opened that trap door and closed it.
I guess I probably walked through as that was happening.
Okay, I will give
Alice
you. Yeah.
If Jet starts walking in there, she runs somewhere behind cover, and she's gonna try to reach out to Baptiste.
Okay.
Y'all really
that works. Yeah. Jet, you step through the door.
So what I was doing when I was stepping through,
and I'm backing up. This is before he's gone because I know you wanted to do this. So.
As they're talking, what I was doing is I walked through the door, but I kept my left hand hooked into the wall. So essentially, I'm trying to continue passing even once I'm through the door.
That's 5 wind for every couple of seconds, but yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, I'm doing that, and then I guess they're having this conversation because I would have said something, but I don't know if I had enough time to.
No, this makes sense. Go ahead and say something. Yeah. You step through and you see this little figure. It can't be more than like 3.5 feet tall, incredibly spindly arms and legs, this little pot-bellied body, all silvery gray with those big eyes and that little mouth. But not only a cowboy hat, chaps, and a gun belt. And in the gun belt is something you've never seen in your life. It looks for all the world like a silver cigar with a handle on it and some big flashy wings at the back and 3 rings around the front because he's had to modify the holster for it to fit.
Huh.
And bare feet.
Oh God. That's where I draw the line. No. Yeah.
As you step in, he kind of shuffles a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'll pull my hand out and leave my elbow in. So so that, and I'm just go, I ain't gonna shoot you. I am not gonna shoot you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I ain't human. I don't know if that makes a difference to you.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Oh, sorry, you can't sniff. Yeah, you are.
Can a human do this? You ever seen a human do this? And I'm pointing to my elbow.
I can't do that, but you can. But you're human.
That's fair. She's trying to help you, and I am too. We just don't want. We want to help you get back off of here, out of that hole in the ground.
We just need to eat. We can't go home. It's broken. Don't know how it works.
You sure? Because we might know how to fix something like that.
And there's it's a very hard face to read, but the head just tilts. It gives the impression that he's absolutely boggled that you think you can do that.
Oh, not me. I know some people, friends, they're out there. The lady you're talking to, and a gentleman who I have, and I've got to ask at this point: have I burnt my time? Like, where am I? Because I am leaving myself just enough to, if I had to jump out the wall.
So you wanna leave 5 left, right, to get out?
Yes. So I don't know if
how many do you have?
I have a total of 24.
Okay, so that leaves us 19 if you really want to push the limit, and it's what did we say? 5 every turn. So you've got about 20 to 25 seconds. So you are running out of time rapidly.
So yeah, I'm like, look, I can't do this very long, and I don't want to get shot, but they're just trying to help you, and they might be able to fix this. And that's all I can say. I can't convince you otherwise.
What happens when you can't do it anymore?
We'll try to find another way. Oh, I don't. I get real tired.
And his cheeks start to bulge. Like chipmunk size, bigger, bigger.
Get the hell out of there.
Oh, yeah, no, well, I just...
Back out through the wall, and you can see the slime coming. He spits at you all the way across the room. And you back through the wall, and you hear it hit the other side of the door. And you guys see Jet fall back through the door onto the ground, all but unconscious.
Well, I was going to say, once Jet came through, she was starting to move towards, so did they, like, collide?
Well,
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I was actually walking, so I was actually going to come out the side. I was staying because I was going to be moving,
through the wall.
So I came out down the alley in the side. So I
just looked at the time. So 2 quick things. Miss Alice, you said you were calling Baptiste, right?
Yeah, I'm trying with every fiber of my being. I'm behind cover, so I don't have to worry, focus on laser beams. And I'm trying with every fiber of my being. You think about
Baptiste real hard. You think about Baptiste even more, and then you think about him a little bit more, and then you concentrate on contacting him, and it is almost immediate. Just, you are in his. You're in his head, but it's like the other one. There are many, many locked boxes, and Baptiste has got it's being in a vault full of safe deposit boxes. Almost everything is locked.
Alice says, I'm terribly sorry about this, but I saw no other option.
He responds, "What's the matter?" And it's old man Baptiste's voice.
And she just puts up. So that's fine. So I know you said I can make him see things, right? So to a
degree, yeah.
Can I, if I think of something, is that connected to I can make him see that, or do I have to say it out loud? Or
It worked with
with Jet.
Mr. Comfort.
Oh, it
Yep.
did. Oh, that's right. It did work with Comfort.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna play through in Alice's mind the events of seeing the thing. We come up to it. It shoots Lucius. Jet and Lucius fight, and then Jet phasing through the door because I haven't, as far as I know, he hasn't come back yet.
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, before I am the equivalent of speeding down the highway and then all of a sudden I can't see where I'm going anymore. Where am I? How far can I see the tops of the buildings yet? I mean, because it sounds like a good 15
Yeah, you are over
Minutes have
halfway
passed.
there. So you are at the point where you can clearly see the town ahead of you. But you can still see the fort behind you too.
Oh God. And then I see all that play out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Alice says, "There, people are alive." We can. I would like to try to wait for you as long as possible, but it's Jet, so.
Okay. I mean, sure. I know how far away I am still. He'll think back or say out loud or whatever it is. Jesus.
I feel so bad, but.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out what it is to do, which way that it is that he actually goes. So you told me that it's Jet, but then you also told me that they are still alive.
Alice says
People are still alive.
because I guess I assume
Okay,
she
there
can
we go.
sense.
People are
Yeah.
still alive.
Yeah.
I assume she can sense any confusion that you have, so she would immediately clear that up. And she'll say,
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess, and if it's depending on how fast it's going. Yeah, Baptiste tells you just try to get Jet back and hole up. I'll be there as soon as I possibly can. And you tell him that hell's coming with me. And he'll dig his spurs into Rebecca's sides even harder. And I'm still going straight for the town.
Okay.
Still going for town. Okay.
And I'll try to ride like the equivalent of like riding like she's in a lather.
Yep.
And before I like close the connection or leave, she'll say. She'll kind of see what his plan is. I assume it's like a movie playing. She can kind of.
I mean, he's riding hard for the town. That's about it. That's the extent of his plan right now.
And Alice says, I just wanted to inform you. Hurry back. I'll try to do everything I can to keep us alive in the meantime.
Baptiste, you dig in the spurs and you ask Rebecca to go harder.
Yeah.
And everything around you changes, and the sentence you just said becomes reality.
Oh no.
And you
I was just
are
quoting
on
Tombstone.
Rebecca riding through hell. Her hooves, she is in full skeletal form, and you are not. She is striking sparks off of her hooves as she runs. Her mane and tail are fire in this area. You hear a roar below and behind you. You look back and Baphomet is coming. I said later. Then he's chasing you down. The claws are coming out. He is far bigger than he ever was before. He's home. And he's closing. And Rebecca does the impossible. And she goes even faster. And the red blur just fills your world. All you can see is red, like you're running through a fire. And then poof, it's like being dipped in ice water. The sun is bright in the sky, but compared to where you just were, it's freezing cold.
I got actual chills just now.
And you find yourself skidding to a stop in the middle of Cedar City. And I mean skidding like half a block, horse sitting down, dragging its all four hooves and its ass down the road trying to get stopped.
You can say no. Can I have skidded?
Oh no!
There's that area we're not supposed to go to because there's some. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I back?
No, you're back now. Yeah.
Am I good? So can I have skidded stop near that army encampment that we've got, like the actual like tiny outpost?
Absolutely, yes. The other people that normally would go to work there, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So if that's where he comes to a stop, he'll jump off. Man, I gotta find what it is that I'm using. I'm pulling out.
That's okay, because
stuff.
this is the perfect time to do this. We'll give you a time to think about what you want to do. We'll give everybody else a chance to think about what they want to do, and we will be back in about 20 minutes.
So
that's awful when the monkeys leave. We're back, folks. Oh, gee whiz. That break was interesting. There was a fist fight. It was really strange because somebody had to move from one state to another to start it. It was amazing.
One country to another. Actually.
That's the only thing that prevented it was the borders are closed.
Yep, that's it. It's the only reason.
The only reason it didn't happen. With that.
Well, that's why Lucius missed, because he was standing 6 feet away. Social distancing.
Right. Actually, to be technical, up here north of the 49th, we're actually safer than you by about that much, because we're supposed to stand 2 meters apart, and a meter is about that much longer than a yard.
Yeah, it's definitely the meters and not the national health care. That's not it at all.
No, that's not at all. No. Yeah, we didn't have to input that.
Oh, look, we just lost all of our subscribers.
So cowboys. Cowboys and aliens.
Let's get back to the cowboys and aliens, shall we?
Non-terrestrial entities.
God damn it.
I'm going to keep doing it.
I hate you, Ryan.
All right, so let's come back to not a difficult thing for Baptiste at all.
Yes.
Must be nice.
So, Baptiste, you skid to a halt in front of the military barracks in the town of Cedar City.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, this is the wrong jurisdiction. So he walks through he bursts through the front door, and regardless of whatever military it is, I'm assuming he's able to see ranks and insignias.
Yep.
And he goes up to the highest insignia he can find.
Yep. There's a lieutenant in the room.
Can move pretty quickly.
Yep.
As we've seen. And grabs that person, him or her, by the lapels.
Yeah.
And I am dumping the stare.
Yep.
And the voice, both.
Yep.
Into my overall. Into my overalls.
Into your overalls. Yep.
Into my overall. And so let me. Do you want me to roll first and then say it for RP, or do you want me to say RP it and then roll?
Why don't you, RP it first, and then I'll decide if you need to roll.
Okay. So he grabs him by the lapels, and says, grabs them and says, "Jeez." Kind of actually quiet and gravelly. He's not yelling, but gets really close and says that you have got military assets and civilians located just a few miles down this track. and we have allies that are pinned down under enemy forces, you are requisitioning this train. You are grabbing as many men and women that know how to fight as you can. We are getting 2 of those mounted artilleries that we'll be putting on the front of this train, and we are going to be out of here in the next 5 minutes. And I throw him to the front door.
Yep. And as he stumbles towards the front door, he turns to the sergeant and says, "You heard the man."
Oh, thank God I didn't have.
And he turns around and boots the door open. He's been waiting for an excuse, is the impression that you get. He is outside bellowing. Lieutenants aren't supposed to be the ones that bellow. They talk quietly to sergeants, and sergeants bellow, but he's ordering and pointing, and yeah, there's artillery getting mounted on the train. It turns out there's mounts for it, because this is a military train. The conductor and the driver of the train, it's full steamed and ready to go, as it always is. They are pouring into the carts. Dozens of these soldiers, some of them still pulling on their boots and their jackets and their hats. Guns and ammunition rattling around in leather pouches.
Okay.
As they leap onto this train.
Cool. Great.
And then okay.
I don't know that this will work, and it probably doesn't, but it's what Baptiste does, is that he thinks to Alice, "We're on our way."
Okay. You don't know whether she got the message or not.
Yeah.
Alice, you didn't get the message. He's not magic.
It's a one-way street.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Oh, it makes sense. I just was taking a drink right as soon as you said it. It was perfect timing.
And I have one more question for Baptiste.
Yeah.
How are you getting back?
I'll ride on the train.
Okay. So Rebecca just gone as she's not needed.
She walks around the corner of a
building and just ceases to be. She needs a rest anyway. So you hop on the train. It's going to be, you hear him yelling. He's going to push the train to its absolute limit. You'll be back in 20 minutes.
And at some point, once we're outside of town,
to 60 miles an hour. Yeah.
Once we're outside of town, just in case it goes really badly and blows everything up, he takes, measured by the grain, and every 5 minutes, he tosses just a pinch of ghost, that ground ghost rock pellets that we had made for shotguns.
Yep.
He tosses just a couple of grains of the ghost rock into the boiler to kick Back to the Future 3 style.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a brief moment where the engine's like, "What the hell?" And the whole train just speeds up 15 miles an hour. He's like, loving it, shovel. And he's just yelling at his guy, "How much of that you got?" He wants to go. And this train is flying. Even inside the cabin, the wind of the passage is making your eyes water. And over the sound of the engine and all that steam and all that power, you can hear them behind you singing a battle hymn.
I do have an interesting question that I thought I should ask.
Yep.
Is there just any chance, because I know that the railroad track actually ends before the fort.
Yep.
But I don't know how much distance there is between the end of the track and the encampment. And is there any chance that the tracks line up perfectly with the hangar? I'm just going to put that out there.
They certainly line up with the front gates, at the very least.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jelly beans.
Yeah, there is a little.
We cleared the path of jelly beans. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Seems fine.
That's what steam engines are for. So, as you accelerate across the desert at ridiculous speeds, the four of you,
85.
Oh yeah, literally 85 miles an hour in a steam engine across the Nevada desert at dusk. Oh man. I just had a flash of a memory of watching a steam engine go by at night. They don't just make steam, they shoot sparks as well not out of the big stack, but there's a smaller stack at the back where the coal is. So yeah, they are.
And I bet it'd be
literally-
really cool if someone had a moving picture of this. Oh well.
I think she's busy right now.
Yeah.
So that is happening. It just, I mean, oh, the image in my head is amazing. I wish I could explain it. But yeah, this train is just flying. It is going every bit as fast. It feels like it's going every bit as fast as that hell train coming down the hill. Or maybe Willie can tell you it was every bit as fast as that hell train falling back into hell. Anyway, the four of you back at the base. What's
I immediately check on Jet and do a medicine check to heal his wind.
you can do that?
Oh, everybody wants to love me. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up, Jet.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, no. Well, I do want to make a point of clarification. You all heard, because if you could hear him, you heard me. So
Yeah, we could hear you.
you heard what I said, and you saw me tumble out the side, and I'm just out of breath. Like, I look fine at a medicine check.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of...
Not injured at all, just winded. Yeah.
Which, can you heal with a medicine check? I thought
You can, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
My best. Shoot.
Let's do it. It's actually, I got a chart for that. There's charts for everything.
Well, by the time you come back, Alice has disappeared behind something. I don't know what. So
I'm just kind of blowing steam, just like when I come out.
Well, Cowboy, you got a plan?
I mean, you heard it. I did what I could. I was ghosting the whole time, so I'm a little tired. But
As
yeah,
usual.
I don't think he's gonna be amenable to anything.
No, they don't really seem like the friendly, if we just let them go, they won't eat everybody type.
So now, somebody, and I'm not saying us, but it's probably us, has to go save some people. Much
Well, we can't just leave them.
about that time, Alice kind of she stands up and she waves you all over to the cover, behind the cover that she's behind.
Yeah, I hope Jet or drag him.
Make your way over without. He's fine. It only takes a couple
Oh,
minutes
okay.
to recover wind. Yeah.
Also, what did that
Plus you
medicine
healed him a
check
bit.
do for me?
He actually healed. He rolled 1 and a bonus. So yeah, he actually healed your wind.
Oh, cool. I'm all the way
So
back.
between that and the minute or two that you have a rest, yeah, you're fine.
Whew. All right.
And once everybody's kind of gathered over there, Alice says, I reached out to Baptiste and I was able to make contact.
You can do it from a distance.
Maybe it's because I'm familiar with him.
Okay, we don't need to know that much.
That's
Just-
not
No, too much.
that's not what I mean.
You walked right into that one. I'm sorry.
I know, but what else? I mean, anyway, and she says, I imagine I might be able to do the same with any of you. From a distance, I'm not sure. I would love to test that though. But he knows. I showed him everything that happened, and he said that he will be back as soon as he was almost to the city. He will be back as soon as possible, and he said that he is bringing hell with him, whatever that means.
With Baptiste, I have no idea if he's being literal or not.
He might literally bring hell. I don't.
It's possible. Apparently he's buds with Baphomet, so who knows?
I have no idea. But he does know, and they are on the way back. So if we can wait,
I think we have to wait.
I would think waiting is best.
What you rolling there, Kevin?
But we should.
Why did
Absolutely,
he roll?
I was-
Why did he
I was-
roll?
But we should be prepared for anything in the meantime.
Yeah, well, the spot that you just ducked behind, I don't think the light can reach us here, so might as well.
I'm looking at the 4 holes that go through all the buildings and the wall.
But they, at the very least, they can't see us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't know
That
where
I
to
would
shoot
agree
at the
to.
very least.
Which I assume they can. I guess they can see through doors, or is it like?
No, they just shot through it.
Was he backing up when he was doing that? Did I know that he was headed towards that patch? Because we heard it, but did I see him moving?
He was well across the room when you walked in. He stopped, talked to you, and then when you went through the wall a few seconds later is when you heard the door flip, and he went down.
So yeah, I mean he's downstairs at this point. He might be recharging that gun of his. I don't know, but either way, we should probably wait for reinforcements.
That blue light was a gun?
Speaking.
It was a weird gun. It was like a wand. I don't know. It was in a holster. I'm not 100% sure what you'd call that.
Did he have he had a cowboy hat on. Did he have the whole get up? What?
He did have some chaps. He looked mighty fine.
Did he what did he look like outside of what we saw?
He had feet and they were bare and it made me uncomfortable, but I'm getting over it.
I don't think you are. Is there anything else of note that might come in handy to know during a fight?
I think we should defend ourselves.
Like,
yeah, I think we
like
have
jowls
to.
that bulge out and spit shit at you.
Shush.
Oh, I didn't even think about that because I was already dunking through the wall. I mean, you heard something splat. You can ask me what the splat was.
I wouldn't have heard something splat because
Oh,
I
you
would
guys
have.
were right on. Yeah.
I was
To
catatonic.
be fair, I'm covered in splat. So let's take an educated guess.
I'm gonna assume y'all know because I'm too hung up on his outfit and his feet apparently.
Right?
I know, what kind of day and age do we live in where aliens just show their feet?
Cool. What's the opposite of metagaming, where even though you could get the information in character, you can't because nobody will fucking.
It's not because Jet's not thinking about that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
And your
okay.
conversation is interrupted
Oh no.
by, oh no, it's not little blue lights. It's a scream. But it sounds like somebody's tearing steel in half. It's just a horrible, screeching, howling noise. And you can hear a puffing behind it. And you turn to look because it's behind you. It's outside. And coming over the horizon, make perception checks for me. Or, sorry, wrong game. Scrutinize checks for me.
Because we've rolled that. So
Play that other game 3 nights a week.
Damn. Alice is about to be like, "Are y'all blind?" Like,
Jet
I got the last
and
one.
Lucius.
what did I get? Oh god.
Jet and Lucius, it's the Hell Train from Paradise coming down those tracks right at you faster than you can possibly
Oh god,
imagine.
it's coming back. Flashbacks of like Willie.
He actually
and me
brought
in the,
hell
in the
with him.
train.
Ellie,
Really?
it's a train, but you know it's not the Hell Train, but it's a train going way too fast. Like the train shouldn't go this fast. Miss Alice, you're the only one that puts it together that somebody has put Ghost Rock in this train.
Alice said, "Are we? How
I
do
believe
put
you were
this?
still inside the fort.
Are we
hiding behind the
lined
building.
up with the train tracks?
Yes, that's
Trajectory.
That's the question. Are you hid behind the office? That's the biggest building in the middle of the space.
That's where Alice would have gone. Yeah.
Then yes, it's coming straight at you.
Okay. Alice says. Alice says that'll be Baptiste, and she puts her hands on everybody and is like, "Run!" And she's going to run out of the trajectory.
Do we have to
Yep,
cross
no
the
place
jelly
there.
beans?
We already cleared a lot of them out.
We did, but the paths are windy, like in the middle. So if we're having to go, if we're having to go from one side to the other, that's going to be an interesting walk.
So it's gonna be.
I don't. It
You've got
does.
some time. I mean, you guys are not going to get. If you start moving now, you're not going to
Okay.
get.
Just
Can
run.
I-
You've got a
Can I
solid
make a-
9 seconds.
Alice
Nine to
is
10
running.
seconds at least,
Suggest- I'd like to make a suggestion to Miss Alice. It's like, do you got a mirror handy?
Alice is running.
You got a mirror handy?
Run! She just says run, and she's just running.
Just have it out just in case they hit you.
On the train, Baptiste, you're sort of a mile and a half from the end of the tracks. And the engineer turns to you, and he's just like black all over his face from the steam and the smoke coming off. His eyes are this big around, and he's just grinning. You can tell this is like a childhood dream come true. And he says, watch this. We're going to stop no more 10 feet from the end. And he reaches for the brake and starts to pull it back.
I grab his arm to stop him. Mm-hmm. And in the couple of minutes that we've had, I've got like as long as this is okay, you tell me if you don't have that. Like a thick leather, like a chaw pouch or something that would maybe take a good 5-10 seconds to burn through.
Sure. And
I've got maybe 3 of those portions of Ghost Rock in it.
Yeah.
And I stop him from pulling the brake, and I just look him in the eye and kind of like devilish smile and say, we'll stop where we stop. And I throw the bag into the furnace, and I grab him and I run out of the
back towards the into the train. Yeah. And as you're hauling him away,
and I yell to all of the soldiers everything. I yell, brace against something and pray.
And they follow orders. These are soldiers. They are just boom, they're bound behind their seats, arms up against, like they're in crash position, ready to go. As you haul the engineer, that's the word I've been looking for all bloody night. The engineer is the guy that runs the train.
Yep.
Oh, that drove me nuts. Okay.
Hey, he went to a school just outside of Boston.
Breathe, I will be fine. Okay. As you haul him out of the engine, you hear him cackling. And you feel a sort of pressure on the back of your head, and you turn around, he's trying to shove his engineer hat over your cowboy hat.
That's awesome.
And he throws himself down against the wall and prepares for the impact. Jet and Lucius.
I mean, this is going to be awesome. I might die in this crash, but it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a hell of a death.
Are you like replacing Willie for, we've got a train, someone's got to do something ridiculous on it?
All I know is that my friends are in a lot of trouble, so,
So
get there as fast as I can.
Alice and Ellie, you guys are heading away from the high-speed train. Jet and Lucius, that's the Hell train. Is that changing anything?
Miss Alice told us it wasn't, though. She said it was Baptiste, so even if it is, it's Baptiste.
Okay, so it's Baptiste in the Hell train.
He knows what he's doing.
Okay, I just wanted to remind you guys that that's what you thought when you saw them coming.
Yep.
I saw this man.
Yeah.
In hell.
Yep.
So whatever happens, I'm just like, yep.
That is absolutely fair.
Just running.
So you guys get over the hangar. I don't do this very often, but Ryan, could you tell us how this plays out, please?
No.
This was your idea. You say that you lay this scene for me.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'll try to do so as fairly awesome, but fair, and repercussions to me and mine as well. So as the train, I'm assuming that there's a little bit of a build-up, because why not? So as the train gets towards the end of those tracks, and it just, I mean, there's the top of the smokestack has blown off. There's fire and black smoke and green smoke coming out of it from the Ghost Rock, and just the engine and the 2 cars full of soldiers come flying off the track, burst through the barricades, lists and tilts as it lands, and skids for another few 100 feet, the little blue jelly beans popping and blowing up as they go. one poor but devoted soul, Daryl Edgington, stood his ground at the artillery and fires it off midair, blows a hole in the hangar bay.
Yeah.
And then we all hit, bodies flying everywhere. There's shrapnel. I'm sure not everybody's going to make it out of this as we come to a skid to a stop with the train laying there in a big smoking mess of a pile. And it was and as it comes to a stop, Lucius, who was like, "Oh, but Miss Alice, but I want to talk to you." The train misses him by 3 feet max. You can feel the wind and the heat off of it as it blows your hair, which is much shorter now.
Yep.
Behind you.
No.
You like my Lucius impersonation?
It was really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
The
And
only
it's
thing I'm
accurate.
going to add to that is you guys from your position can see that this engine from your position, yeah, that's exactly like this. It's coming apart. It's also glowing red hot. The whole bottom half, parts of it are starting to get white hot, starting to buckle and melt. And as it skids across the sand, it's kicking up dust and dirt in the now nearly dark night sky. And as it comes to a creaking, hissing, shuddering stop, this green steam escapes. You can hear the screaming because remember when ghost rock burns, it screams. So the train is lying there dead. Nothing's moving. And then the volume goes up a level, but it drops an octave. And they start pouring out the windows. Soldiers just coming out, some of them bleeding, some of them missing parts of their gear, pulling rifles out behind them, helping each other out of the hole, out of these windows, dropping off the side of the train and charging into formation beside the hangar. Eventually, after all the soldiers are out, a cackling madman appears in the window. No hat, bald head, short, fat, and pudgy, laughing his ass off. From here up, he's perfectly clean. From there down, he's completely black except for his eyes and his big grin from all the soot and smoke. He's wearing the striped overalls. He's clearly the engineer, but he's in the car with everybody else. And you look, and that's a damn good thing, because that engine is destroyed. And then, what comes out next? Baptiste, you find yourself recovered from all of that. You watch the soldiers start to move. You think, we'll let them go. The engineer jumps out of your grasp and leaps out the window. You look down, check. You're fine. A couple bruises. Because this is a superhero movie.
So Baptiste will climb up out of it as well, and as he, the train's on its side, so he crawls out the door, but that means he's up on the top, and he jumps down onto the sand, not onto any blue jelly beans.
Yep.
Jumps down onto the sand, and in the fires of all of that, and walks over to the sort of encampment, takes a couple of steps toward where Lucius and Alice and Ellie and Jet all are, and scoops up. In all of the craziness of all of that, he sees that Lucius's hat has fallen down. He picks up the hat, and hands it to Lucius and draws both of his pistols and says, I heard that my friends were in a bit of danger, so I came back.
And this would be an unbelievably dramatic moment, except for the engineer's cap that is perched crookedly on the top of his cowboy hat.
Yep.
Alice, just before she can think about it, before she can talk herself out of it or into it, Alice just runs up to Baptiste and like almost tackles him with a hug. She is so relieved to see that he has come back so fast, and she
that's enough. That's enough wind. I'm out. Actually. He takes a couple of steps back.
So tempted to say Baptiste
knocks the hat off.
Yeah, but that knocks the ass. Yeah.
But that's it. She just is like overcome with emotion, and she just rushes him and throws her arms around him, and then kind of after a second kind of realizes what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of steps back and like straightens her dress and kind of does the and
he does just the hat nod.
Yeah. And she says, right then, they were in there.
Well, I have a feeling that they're not about to be in anything anymore. And he'll yell off towards the formation. He says, Lieutenant, I believe this is your game now.
And you hear a bellow from across the edge. He's in his element too. You see he's marching up and down. He's like parade ground proud, right? His boys are standing. He's checking them out and fixing hats and adjusting collars.
And Alice will say, don't touch the blue stones. And
ma'am, we put them there.
These are okay.
And sir, ain't no problems. Thank you very much for letting us know there was an issue. This problem solved.
And then they all vaporize. No.
Ellie's gonna just kind of be like looking at the train, and then she's gonna look at Baptiste, and she's like,
We'll have a bit of a walk back, sure.
Yeah, I can't fault your entrance. That was quite the save, but we did call the train for a ride.
Well, the message I received was that there was a problem. I figured getting here was best.
Your stopping could use some work, but I appreciate the effort.
I know that we are from two vastly different territories in these beautiful United States of America, but I do believe where you are from pronounces thank you very differently than we do in the South.
You're right, we do.
He just smiles back.
Yep. And as you guys watch the soldiers form up and go in through the now open front doors, because you guys opened them, in formation, and they spread into a skirmish line and they start to move, and you watch, and these are pros. Baptiste in particular, you've seen a lot of soldiers. These are skirmishers. These are the talented ones that hang out at the front. They're not just a volley of fire like you used to see in the Civil War. These are individual marksmen. They're mercenaries, not soldiers. And you hear the door open and get down, no, go, and all that SWAT stuff. Hut, and yeah, it's going down. They're heading down the hole. If you hang around long enough, you will hear gunshots, some screams, and eventually the lieutenant and most of his crew come back up. And two of them have got like duffel bags. And the lieutenant comes up to you and says, just thought it was worth showing you what you saved us from. What you saved this whole bloody world from. And he opens up one of the bags and dumps it out. And it's this 3.5 foot long silvery gray creature, all full of bullet holes. But he, without saying a word, he reaches down and puts his thumb just under the chin and pulls it down the chest. And as he does so, it's almost like a zipper opening up. And he starts to peel this silvery gray skin, which you realize very quickly isn't skin. It's the outside of a suit. And he reaches inside and grabs, and he looks at you and says, anybody got a weak stomach?
Well, I think it's a little late for that. You just peeled this strange skin off.
I asked before I showed you this, and he pulls here. And he's holding in his hand what looks like 30 or 40, like 2-foot long worms, about this big around. Just in a cluster. They're all joined together at the end, but there's like, off each end, there's 10 or 15 of these tentacles. No eyes, no mouth, no nose.
That's so gross.
It fascinates me.
Then he picks up the silver thing again. He says, they call this a space suit? He chucks it, drops this worm thing, and it goes on the floor. There is only 2 of them.
There was a third one, sir. One got away.
Yeah, that
Don't know
one's
where
being
it is, but
it's being hunted.
the people down there, were they?
That's where the rest of my boys are right now, cutting them out of the pods.
Alice says,
Pods?
They, I don't know if any of you saw it. Oh, you did. And he looks over at Lucius. That stuff, when they spray that on you, it hardens into this sort of a crust, and you inside it, you can kind of see through. You can see the people in there breathing. It's freaky. It takes weeks for them, but eventually they just turn into like goo. And then these things soak. Oh, it's disgusting. They soak it up through the. Oh.
Why did you have these? So did they crash here, and you built this whole base around them?
They crashed near here, and we brought them here because they had amazing weapons, and they told us they could teach us how to build them. But it turns out they don't know shit. They couldn't tell us how the weapons worked. They couldn't tell us how the ship worked. Nothing.
Did you happen to recover any of those weapons?
I was looking at the skin for that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's 2 of them, but they're damn useless unless you're here. They got to be charged every 10 shots.
How are they charged?
Well, the thing that does it, we took it out of their ship. It's got to be 10 foot square, weighs close to a ton.
I'll take one.
I would also like one. For research, of course.
He pulls them off and hits the button on one and says, well, it's got 2 shots left. And he pushes, like you just slightly depress the trigger to get a number shows up on the back in red lights. It's really weird. And that one's got 4.
How long does it take to charge?
Half an hour.
Can you show me the object that charges them?
Sure, if you'd like.
I think we're making camp here anyway, so maybe we charge these.
You don't need to make camp. There's a whole bunch of empty barrack blocks right there.
Well, you know what I mean. We're staying. We're clearly...
As
we can't
a colloquialism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I think that we charge these, and Alice kind of looks at Jet, trying to like hide the excitement behind her eyes.
Did Alice yell at Jet when he was going through the wall? This is important. I can't remember if that was Sarah to Skylar or Alice to Jet.
I think it was Sarah to Skylar.
Then Jet is just like beaming back.
Yeah.
Like.
And these are, just to be clear, these are Flash Gordon ray guns, man. Like, they got the circles around them and the 3 little prongs that come out the front, and it's all like a cigar and the fins on the back and the swept back handle. And,
and Alice says, terribly sorry, but in order to figure out what happened, I think these are yours. And she gives him all the documents that they took out of the safe.
I'm just gonna put these back.
Sorry, we it helped us in the end.
Don't explain.
Yeah. Anyway, to this charging station.
Yes, and to wrap it up, he takes you guys downstairs. You are shown this. I mean, it's literally a 10-foot cube, 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot. It appears on the outside to be made out of that incredibly hard metal that you guys don't know what it is. But he tells you it weighs over a ton. And I mean, you can try and pry bar it and stuff. It's hugely heavy. At least a couple thousand pounds.
Charging these guns.
Charge them up. So you guys have ray gun with 10 shots.
Yes.
And I'll get you the stats for those before next week.
Can I somewhat find a way to emulate this and make a miniature version of this?
You can try and understand it. Give me... What would you use? Good mad science? Yeah, give me mad science. Because alien technology, that's got to qualify as mad science.
It's like that. Yeah. It's like that gun in Skyrim that you find, but it's only
it's totally weird. Like it doesn't belong there.
Yeah, and it's only got so many shots, and once you use up all that ammo, like that's it.
It's not bad at all.
So what you realize is that this is essentially a gigantic self-charging battery. So what you figure out is you can charge these pistols with electricity, but it takes, and I mean electricity's brand new at this point. I mean that just showed up at the World's Fair, like light bulb, a million light bulbs at the 1860 something World's Fair, so it was just recent. It would take more energy than a whole city uses in a night, and this is 1870s, so this is like more energy than say 5,000 light bulbs to charge one of these things. So I mean, if you can figure out a way to harness lightning, or you build the Hoover Dam, maybe you could charge this yourself. You understand the principle, but in practice, it requires exactly 1.21 gigawatts. That is precisely what it requires. One more trope just before we
Great.
Go.
God.
Well, that's good to know. I just write all that information down and maybe make some sketches in the later.
And with that,
and Alice says,
anybody else is doing?
Yeah, Alice just says, will you be, is this machine, will this machine be staying here?
No, we aren't moving it.
Okay, so if, say, we come back through town on the way back, we can come through and recharge.
Miss, you can recharge, you can have our food, you can stay at our place, you can ride our train.
Giggity.
Looking over your shoulder.
Well, that's out of the question at the moment, but do you think it would be possible, say, for someone to send word for carts to come and fetch us in the morning?
In the morning, yes. I will send some people over the evening. They'll walk back to town and come back in the morning with carts. Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
All I have to offer for you is rations to eat.
Alex's stomach kind of grumbles, and she says, well, I guess I haven't eaten. I do realize I haven't eaten in a while.
And it's weird because you guys start to look around, and I mean, there's a lot of damage. There's a smoking, steaming, pinging, cooling train in the yard. The office is partly smashed down because of that. The doors of the hangar are open. There's the smell of gun smoke hanging in the air. But in spite of all of that, these soldiers have just gone about their duties. Some of them, they're opening up the barracks and airing them up. Other ones are going into storage rooms in some of the towers and bringing stuff back out. You guys never looked.
No, because there was the goo thing, and then
Yeah.
Jet bum rushed the door. So
And it takes maybe an hour, and except for the train, this looks like and the wrecked gate. This looks like every other day in every other military fort in the world. It's like nothing happened.
Oh, Alice also wants to ask.
Except for the train and the ray guns.
She also says, also, do you have a way to recreate and safely transport these blue...
Oh, you can't have those, miss.
No?
No, those were fuel for that damn ship in there.
Did it come like that?
They come just like that. Stupid looking little mechanism. We think it feeds them in one at a time, but it goes into this little box, and the box ain't got nothing in it. Huh. We thought they told us they could. They told us they knew all their tech. They didn't know shit.
Huh. Interesting.
I just look at Alice. Like, you don't suppose you want to stay a couple days and figure out a few things?
I mean,
Lucius, it's only your family that's missing.
Right? Like, Alice, that's basically what she's trying to find a way to say. She says, I mean, I'm always on board for gathering information and intel. But I do think that we should get to the city of Los Angeles directly. This is fairly close. We can always come back. I mean, Jet and I are surely going to want to come back to recharge our weapons.
For sure. It's a good idea. Just at the thought when you say Los Angeles, like, right, Los Angeles.
And you guys, does anybody else have anything they'd like to do?
Well, I was actually looking when Lucius was studying this battery. Was he like? Because I know Alice and I are holding on to these guns. Was he like looking at it? Like, was he trying to understand the gun, or mainly just the battery?
This was just the battery.
Okay. Why
the gun? Out of character, he'd be rolling a 30 plus before he got the vaguest idea. I mean, you think about it, when you open that up, it's all going to be like printed circuit boards.
Yeah.
And stuff inside.
But bear with the in character. I'm asking I'm asking Sam, was Lucius looking at these guns? Like, was he looking at the battery and the guns, or just the battery?
Just look at the battery.
Yeah, okay, the gun is also a sealed unit. There's no way to take it apart.
Never mind.
It just gives me ideas for other things in the future. Ideas.
Fair enough.
So you are taken to your own barracks. There is a wall built in a matter of minutes across the middle of it to separate it into two halves. So if you choose to sleep, the boys and the girls, you've got your own rooms. Each of those rooms has its own facilities and whatnot. The soldiers go into two of the other barracks down at the far end, leaving you lots of space.
Okay. The only thing Alice wants to do, Alice will find Baptiste at some point, and she wants to pull him aside and just
fade to black.
No, she pulls him aside and she says, "I don't know how much you knew of what I could do before today, but it's still new. But I didn't see any other option. I didn't see anything." And she tells him like what it looked like to her, like all the locked safes and stuff. And she says, "But I didn't see any other option. But I didn't see anything outside of what I was trying to portray to you. And I wouldn't ever do that without asking unless you were an enemy. But I felt the situation warranted."
Well, yeah. Seems that everybody was in a precarious situation, and I'm glad that I was able to render assistance, and I'm glad that you're talking to me about it now, but I suppose a lady deserves her secrets.
As does a gentleman. And then she says, "Thank you for coming back so fast. I doubt we could have... I doubt that the four of us could have faced them."
Well, to be honest, I do kind of wish I would have thought about getting back a little bit better, but it did look pretty spectacular, I assume.
It was incredible, and I've spoke to the lieutenant, and he's going to have carts sent for us in the morning. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't realize that conversation had happened.
So all is well. And then she kind of awkwardly is like, thanks. And she kind of coyly smiles and then walks out. Just like,
Yep. I see a finger.
Is this the last stop before Los Angeles?
You don't know. I mean, you can look at the map.
Okay. Anything in
Are you
between?
going
I'm
looking?
just wondering. Yeah, look.
I mean, this is a military town. Yes, there's a brothel.
Lucius's alcoholic problem rears its ugly head.
I don't think it's
okay.
liquor he's looking. Well, I don't think it's alcohol he's looking for.
Liquor off
Well-
the nowhere. Yeah.
Well, guessing that this is probably going to be the last stop, I'm just like, I need to just a private, just some time alone.
Hang on. Sorry, no, wait a minute. Cedar City has a brothel, but you're at the fort.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you could ask a soldier, I guess. But
I'm
no,
sure that'll go over well.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, I realized I had to correct that. Yeah, you're at the fort. There's only soldiers here.
okay, but this is like, is there anything in between Los Angeles and the fort?
Cedar City, you got to go back through. They're going to take you there in carts, and then you're going to get back on a train and get back on the tracks. So. It'd have to be sort of a morning visit, but you know,
I can wait.
they have a continental breakfast special.
Exactly. But what I was really just trying to really just map out when's the last stop before Los Angeles.
That's the last one that you know of.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah. I'm just going to tinker a little bit if I can.
Yep.
You said you'd have to wait.
Yeah. Oh no, he can't get to the brothel, so he's going to have to tinker.
That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Okay. With the schematics of like in mind of a huge energy source,
Yep.
I want to make a doorway that's sort of a portal.
You want to try and connect this battery to where you are?
I want to think like Lord. Think of like the fly, like the pods.
Yep.
That's what I want to try to make using the energy source of
Well,
the.
in the best and most famous words in all of role play, you can certainly try. But we will
Even
save
if I
that
start.
for next week. Because I got to figure out exactly how many 120 or 130 that difficulty rating is going to be. But
Oh, and I should mention in that conversation with Baptiste, Alice did mention to him the thing about seeing the body or the spirit leave the body back in Poison Paradise, and she did tell him all the backstory of
I think you talked to him about that in a previous episode too. But okay, cool.
yeah,
just to
Yeah, he
confirm.
knew about that.
because she's still freaked out by it.
Yeah. And I'm going to do the regular finish thing in just a couple of seconds here. But first, for all you DMs out there, that bit, all of that, all of that,
This is what we skipped.
and all of that is what they sent the soldiers in to kill.
Oh my god!
Kevin, I'm so sorry.
No. This was brilliant. This was far smarter than what you could have done. This is
That's
magnificent.
amazing.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know what
that is-
the real pain in the ass of all of it is I'm the one off stream that's always like, I just wish we could have more combat. I really like
I
the
know.
Oh, also, let me send in all the NPCs for combat.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right, because that I guarantee you will show up in another one of my campaigns somewhere. But for right now, it's just going to sit down on the floor. Oh, that was
Damn.
amazing, guys. That was some really creative problem solving all around. I am impressed. Whether we agreed with the reasonableness of some of it or not, it was all brilliant. And in these difficult times,
we're
I
playing
am,
pretend. We play
yeah,
pretend. It's a
and
game.
exactly. And I think we had a wonderful time tonight. I certainly did. I hope you guys did. I hope everybody that's watching did. And I hope it took your mind off of all the other real life stuff in your world for at least the last couple of hours. And with that, and hoping that that's the case, I would like to thank all the people that helped me do it tonight. Ryan playing Baptiste. And now I can already hear Puck's voice. Willie's going to have to come back now because it's sort of, he's not in the lead anymore. Riding that train into hell is no longer necessarily the coolest thing that's happened in this campaign. So,
Damn.
at the far end, the voice of reason. Whoever expected that out of Miss Ellie? You are, if I'm not mistaken, in character, the youngest member in the party, right?
Yeah, I think she's a year younger than Miss Alice.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
close
yeah,
to that, yeah.
and clearly developing into the mother figure. I love it.
She loves that.
Oh, I'm sure nobody wants to be the mother figure. Not even your mom.
She's
wants
like,
to be the
I
mother
just
figure.
got out of dealing with a little brother, and now
Yeah.
I've got like three of them and
Yep.
and Alice.
Absolutely. And speaking of Alice, Sarah playing Alice for us. Thank you as always for playing true to form. That is Miss Alice from end to end.
End to end.
End to end. Next in line, Jet, played by Sky. He constantly surprises me with his creativity, leaving your arm through the wall so you stayed phased. What have I done? Oh, this is magnificent. And down at the corner, Lucius, played by Lessamax. The eternal struggle to finally punch something continues.
Trying.
Oh, man.
One day.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I just want to quickly pop back to Ryan because I forgot to do the thing where I say, what do you guys do? And you guys did a double this week.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to put a video out this week. It just went out this morning, so you can go to Roll for Initiative on YouTube, and we put out 2 videos. One of them is 11 of our favorite 2-player games, and some of them have 1-player versions. So if you are quarantined or isolated, and it's just you and a roommate or a partner or a kid or whatever, we've got 11 games that are really great that we run through real quick that are 2-player. And then the second video, maybe you're quarantined at home and you've got a lot of roommates or you've got a much bigger family. We have games that run 5+ people. So there's some of them that'll have like an option for 3 or 4, but all of the games can run 5, and some of them more than 5 people. And it's 11 of those games.
That's a rare thing.
Yeah, we broke all of those down. There's a lot of really cool ones that are there. So those 2 videos, it's a brief description, and then we go through and do an in-depth review of, I think, like 8 of those 11 games. And since you can order stuff online, or if you can safely, if you're in a place where you're allowed to still go out and you can do it safely, and do like a very safe curbside pickup in order to help support your local gaming store, or order from them online or something like that.
Yeah.
So we can all kind of try to be helping each other out.
Absolutely. Great videos and a wonderful idea behind them. I really appreciate those. Let's do it this way. Sky, tell us about the tube of you, please.
Sarah and I have been working on a few things. Some of that will come out more in next month. But for now, what we've got is We have all our previous episodes being uploaded every week, from everything from Deadlands to Team Mom to Team Warlocks to our new Thursday short campaign, where you can see 3 of us actually. And we'll be doing that again this Thursday coming up on Twitch. So check us out there. We also have one-shots. We have another one from the in-between, from between season 1 and season 2, the summer semester, coming out tomorrow morning. That was actually Sarah and I. So if you want to see Gilbetta and Penn doing
basically the same thing that Alice and Jet do.
Pretty much. just that I may or may not mooch money off of her. Who knows? That
You may or may not still owe me money.
What? Anyway, so yeah,
but he's your cute little mushroom boy. You can't hurt him.
Well, that's Penn.
Oh, okay. I was talking about the other game. You're cute in one of these games. I remember that.
I'm cute in all of them.
So yeah, that's Penn and Gilbetta arguing for
right. Penn and Gilbetta. And speaking of Gilbetta, Sarah, are you a little bit excited?
I am excited
for this weekend.
I'm also pretty fracking nervous.
Yeah. Well, why would that be?
Because I just watched you throw away 3 pages.
Yeah, but because you didn't write what you're doing. What are you doing? Tell us.
So Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll end about an hour before Mom on Sunday. I am running my table flip.
Yes,
so
you are.
We are going to be running Clockwork Dominion, which is a steampunk horror game. And that is going to be currently, for sure, Kevin, Sean, and Felix, the mastermind behind Fool's Gold campaign.
I bet you he's throwing away a page or 2 in his life.
That is going to be a full day.
It is going to be a full day.
That's going to be, for some of you, that's going to be a 7-hour role play day.
Thank God I don't have a job right now. So it's fine. I have plenty of time to recover.
So speaking of the 7-hour
plug your
day,
Patreon or something.
Oh yeah, something, yeah. And having said that, Sundays, here we go. This upcoming week, holy cow. Well, just do a regular week. The weeks now here at Mercs of Mischief channel. Sundays, we're going to have that special event plus the regular Monday night or Sunday night Mercs of Mischief campaign.
Yep.
Followed on Monday night by the regular or irregular Too Many Warlocks campaign.
Yep.
Followed on Tuesday night by the next step in this little adventure.
Yep.
Followed on Thursday night by the short 4-part adventure that's going on there. Plus, who knows what else we might add by then.
Yep.
Oh, content. It's coming, folks. Kick around.
Yep.
We figure you've got time. We've got time. We might as well do this. With that, my standard thank yous to all the people that helped me create this tonight, all the co-creators. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Oh, I got a finger in the air. Yep.
Evan, have you mentioned what you do on Thursdays? I saw.
I didn't mention this week, but after you watch the wonderful adventure on Mercs of Mischief, you can join the raid and come and raid me and 3 of my friends as we play Ironsworn in co-op mode on Thursday night. We make it all up on the fly, no plot, no plan, and we're in deep as usual.
Which is another game you can play one player if you are.
It is, absolutely. In fact, it is specifically designed as a one-player and co-op game because, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, it includes what he calls an oracle system, which is a random event generator, random place generator, random everything generator. So every time you come to a branch in the story, you can roll a die for an inspiring word or 2 or a phrase around which you hang your narrative. It's really interesting stuff. Very good for the natural storytellers out there, because there's not a lot of rules and a whole lot of story. Thanks. I wasn't going to say anything, but seeing as how you forced me.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Everybody has been amazing. Thank you so much. And with that, we will see everybody next week. I was so sure I shot Lucius. Okay, we did shoot somebody this week. And next week, Lucius might need shots. So we'll see you next week, folks. Good night until then. Bye-bye.
Ever find the beast that took me whiskey drink? I'll find him. I'll fight him.